It's Thursday morning, and it's time for Tech for Seniors Live, where technology gets its deserved deep dive. This isn't happening via Zoom, so we can't see who's joining the show. So please sign in to the chat box below as we gather round the screen, both far and wide, with curiosity as our ever-trusty guide. We'll navigate the digital seas, a knowledgeable crew, exploring all the tech tips, both old and new. No need for cameras, no need for dress. Just bring your questions and we'll address. From gadgets to apps and all the tech lore, we're here to help, to teach, and much more. So type away in the chat. Don't be shy. Our tech-savvy hosts are here to reply. It's Thursday morning. Let the tech talk flow at the Tech for Seniors Live, the best tech show.
Is your car spying on you? This and all the tech news of the week today on Tech for Senior Live. I'm Ron Brown. This is, just a minute, let me think, what day is it? September the 5th. Why would I know that? Why would I know that date? We'll come to that in just a minute. Anyway, welcome. This is Tech for Senior Live. As I said, we are going to talk about all the tech news of the week and find out why your car is spying on you. So, and I brought a great panel. We're going to talk about all these issues today. Before we get into that, I just wanted to talk a little bit about about our Monday show. Just in case you don't know, we do have a Monday show. It's a Zoom meeting, and I will just put up in our banners here. Let's have a look here. You can find all the information for joining our Monday show at techforsenior.com. Go over there, and we sure appreciate it. We're in our 5th year, soon to be 6 years we've been doing the show. So we have a lot of fun. Like we have a lot of fun on this show. I'm going to introduce everybody in just a moment. But today is a great day. Of course, it's my birthday, and I want to thank everybody for getting me the best birthday present ever. It is you all participated in it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And the birthday, you're going to say, what did you get me? Right? And of course, what you got is 10,000 subscribers. As I sat there yesterday afternoon and staring at the screen at 9,999, some kind soul hit the button after an hour and a half. My back was getting sore, and bingo, we got to 10,000. Now, 10,000 is in YouTube land or Google land or whatever land it is a big deal. It's a big deal to get 10,000 subscribers. Only 1% of creators ever get that. So the team that we have together at Tech for Senior worked really hard, and indeed we made the 10,000, which is a pretty big milestone and one that I'm very happy with. And it was a great birthday present. So thank you so much for everybody and all your kind words and hitting that subscribe. We're still going to work at getting more. So if you haven't hit that like and subscribe, please do it. But it's a long road ahead for Huey. Will probably have to be doing this till we're for another 15 years before you get to 100,000. That's the next big milestone. That's when you get the plaque. We're just going to get the letter, and I'm going to have it laminated. I'll put it up behind me here, and we'll show that. But you get a letter from Google. Anyway, let's get on, because you didn't come to listen to me yak on and on and on. Let me introduce everybody, and then we'll have a look. If you are listening out there, please put a note in the chat. Let me know where you are. We'll introduce you and acknowledge that in just a minute, because we don't know who's out there and who's listening. So please put a note in there. Let me introduce Huey Popluk. Of course, he had a great show on Monday. He's a co-host, and Huey and I offset each other for the Monday show. You had a great show last week. It was well received.
Thank you. And I want to say thanks to Ray, who did a presentation for the Sarasota group last evening, and it was a great presentation. Everybody loved it. And I've got Windows SIG on Sunday, and so I've got another one on Friday. So I've got a busy week ahead of me. I do want to say happy birthday to you, Ron, and I've got a video on our coming up. It'll come up here in just a little bit.
Okay.
And
right.
And also my subscription on my channel is nearing 1,000. So I think I'm doing pretty good, but I'd love to see it go over 1,000. It's at 946, I think. So I need people to go there and subscribe to my channel.
Pop over to Huey's site, and do we have? We'll have to get your. I don't have it on our cards here. We'll have to put that in. You do have. Oh yeah, here it is. www.huey.net. Oh, but your YouTube channel. We'll put that up there. We should get that up there for you next week. But to register for your Windows SIG, just send you a note at www.huey.net.
Yeah, there's a link for the newsletter, and then I'll send that on to you. Okay. Register. Yeah.
Very good. All right. And of course, Ray Baxter, how are you today? Welcome.
I'm doing well, thank you, and happy birthday, Ron.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, as Huey said yesterday, I had the pleasure of working with the Stug group and doing my presentation, and then the day before, I did one with a modified with the computer club called Tech Edit up in Westchester County, not too far from where I was raised. So it's been a busy week so far, and it's only Thursday.
Very good. Now Bob is here. I don't know where he went. He was having some computer problems early, so I don't know. I expect he's busily rebooting or doing something to try and get logged back on. So we should see him shortly. Huey, are there any? Is anyone listening to us?
Yeah, there's quite a few already
logged in,
left a message. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Good. Ed Weiss, 73 degrees, Central New Jersey. Welcome, Ed. James Martis, sunny in Cookeville, Tennessee. Hello, James. Liz Milford, 75 degrees, sunny in Ohio. Sally Ann, expect highs in 80s, 4 days, Kirkland, Washington. Yeah, I think it's going to be nice on the West Coast. Highs in 80s for 4 days. Yeah, it's going to be good. Dick Vogel, clouds are arriving again in Central Florida. Mike Ungerman, in Orlando today is rain.
Rain. Yep.
Really? You're gonna some rain. Oh. Geeks on Tour, happy birthday from Geeks, South Florida, hot and humid. Hello, Chris and Jim. Edie, happy birthday, Ron, from Prescott, Arizona. Thank you, Edie. And Mike Lehman, Mike from Moncton, New Brunswick, where it's a nice fall sunny day, 25 degrees centigrade today, heading to the Sussex Balloon Festival tomorrow. Hey, get some good pictures. That'd be great. Yeah. Mike Lehman, Ron HB not getting older, just maturing like a fine wine.
Yeah.
Richard Clarkson, 84, now going up to 110. Holy
In California, that's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Southern California.
Excuse me just a sec here. Happy birthday, Ron, again. Thank you, Richard. Jolin, greetings from Low Country, California. Happy birthday, Ron. Thank you, Jolin. Jolin is, of course, our tech expert who we always ask questions when we can't figure something out. We ask Jolin. So welcome, Jolin. Thank you for being here and thank you for listening. So that's good. We still don't see Bob. You haven't seen him. What's going on with Bob? Anyway, he probably will pop back in when he figures out his...
when we're not looking for him.
Yeah. I'll sneak back in. All right. So the first article that I wanted to, let me just bring this up here. We're going to talk today. There were two articles that came up this week. Both I thought were very interesting articles. And the first one was senators call on FTC to investigate data-hungry car companies. Now, okay, so that was the first one. And the second one is new cars are now the worst products when it comes to protecting consumer data. So those are the two articles that I thought we could talk about today. Now, there is a feeling, like I'm going to say in the general public, that now, I'm going to preface my remarks. I know that Mike's listening, and Mike is very helpful. And he got me listening to two. First of all, he got me listening to Car Edge. Car Edge is a podcast and is a YouTube channel that I'm sort of addicted to now, and it really keeps me attuned to what's happening in the car industry. Thank you, Mike, for doing that, although I spend a lot of time listening to those guys. Anyway, I listen to it every day, so they're good. And the other one that is I would encourage everyone to listen to is a podcast called Wheel Bearing. This is from a man Sam Abdul Samad, who is a consultant to the car industry, and he's a regular on Leo Laporte's show on Monday. He's been on there for about 4 or 5 years. So I get a lot of news about the car industry and what's happening. Now, a lot of people have a feeling that, gee whiz, these cars, the companies are making a ton of money on these expensive cars. Why are they nickel and diming us, listening to our data, and so on and so forth? Well, in actual fact, they're not making a lot of money on cars. In fact, if you watch what's happened actually in the car industry in the last 3 years, they're actually losing money each car they sell. In fact, sometimes they're losing a lot of money. So the concept of car manufacturers going forward in the world has been to capture data and sell the data. And you might think this is a small amount of money, but it isn't. And it can actually, as you see in the articles today, it amounts to several billions of dollars. And it can be a huge, like selling the data and capturing that data as you drive is a huge amount of money that can capture back into the car and into the car companies. So this and all the car companies are doing this. So it isn't a little thing; it's a big thing, and it is as they look forward is how they're going to be able to finance these cars as a major profit center for them. Now, we've talked about this before. 2 years ago, we talked about, the three of us talked about articles on. Do you remember Beamer and the
Yeah, they wanted to charge a
the rental. Remember the rental?
Yes,
so so Beamer had it. So you bought the expensive Beamer and then you rented the air conditioning on a monthly basis through the summer, and the heated seats and the heated steering wheel. Remember that one?
Yep,
right.
Yep.
So that was sort of what happened. Then there was the second one that was we talked about OnStar and GM, and there was an article that came out in 2023 that we reviewed that said that all new 2024s you would have to subscribe to OnStar, and there would be like $150 a month fee for that. And the reason being is because all these cars have computers. Like, they have a lot of computers. Some of them have 5, 10, 15 computers in them, and they all have to be updated. And they all have to be updated to different services. So here's Bob back. you're happy to join us again there? Can you hear me? We'll let him work on that for a minute. Anyway, he was and so that was OnStar, and they were trying to get to, so the idea would being is it would be you'd constantly be connected through OnStar, and they would update the computer as we went along. And I'm not sure if
Ron
that's true.
frozen.
There you go. We can hear you. This is Bob Gustisha from Los Lunas, New Mexico. He's back. Can you hear us? Bob, are you there?
I think he's hearing us.
I know that he's hearing us. Anyway, so we
I got knocked off.
Yeah. So
we hear you.
We hear you.
There. Oh, there he goes
again.
There he goes again.
So
they anyway, coming back to OnStar, and so that because of they want to stay connected to upgrade the computers. Now, whether that's true or not, or whether that's happened in 2024, I don't know. I don't have a GM car, but I do have a Toyota. And the interesting thing about the Toyota was when I bought it, on the way out the door, the salesman said, "Oh, we got to load the app on your phone to get all the systems working." And I said, "Well, I can do that at home." He said, No, we got to do it now. Get this all organized." And so, well, okay. So we did that. And then he said, "See, you can sort of see as my wife's driving around, there's actually in the Toyotas a SIM card in the Toyotas, and the app connects to the car, and you can see the car wherever it is and where it's moving and all that." And I thought, well, that was interesting. Well, of course, I found out later that they get paid $150 direct from Toyota for setting that app up, the salesman. And it's so important because that app is the tracker. They track all the data through the app, right? And the reason that you can see the car going around, and that's the tracking is started, and that's why they're paying that directly to the salesman. They want to make sure that app gets installed. So they're all doing it. They're all tracking all these cars now. All the different companies are all tracking, and it's. Does anyone out there feel a little bit nervous about this?
Well, it's still not clear to me, Ron, what information they're possibly getting that could be worth anything. Can you explain what they're getting that gives them value?
We'll go into that, but first of all, it could be your driving behavior, right? First of all, it's the distance you drive. So the first thing is how far do you drive? And you say, well, no, I just drive around town. I never go anywhere. But they track you, and you find out you do 100,000 miles a year, right? You know, that's a little different on your insurance, right? So they also find out how fast you drive. You know, are you driving like a teenager, or are you driving like I do and never go over 50 miles an hour, right? You know, like what are you doing? And then where are you going? Like where are you going to do your shopping? You know, and they would find, in my case, I only go to Costco, right? So they wouldn't get very much on me.
You go to Costco if you're in a parking lot that has a dozen stores.
But Costco parking lot doesn't. You're definitely at Costco. You can see that on the app. I mean, the app is like Google Maps. It knows exactly what store.
I guess all I'm saying, I don't see how this is of any value. It's perhaps, but everything else. What value is that to anybody?
Well, let's go over the article. So the article says by 2030, more than 95% of passenger cars sold are likely to have embedded connectivity, according to Counterpoint Technology market research. This allows car manufacturers to offer functions related to safety, security, predictive maintenance, prognosis, but it also opens the door for companies to collect, share, and sell data related to driving habits and other personal information. To be sure, there can be valid reasons to collect driver and car data for safety and functional purposes, and some essential services such as emergency security related data sharing may be difficult or impossible to opt out of. Predictive maintenance is among the reasons for more data sharing, allowing manufacturers to determine that a part used in the fleet is failing sooner than expected. So those are the positive things. Most car manufacturers provide options out of unnecessary data sharing, but as with many other consumer technologies, there is money to be made from the sale of data. These settings are often buried within menus, according to Counterpart Senior Analysis. A Kinsey report from 2021 predicted the various use cases for car data monetization could deliver 250 billion to 400 billion, you guys, in annual revenue industry players by 2023. So what I'm saying is that, 2030. So what this is what wheel bearing says, and what this is what Sam Amblesam sort of consults on, and what he's done a lot of shows on, is this data capture of how this is being built into all new cars. Like every company's doing it. Doesn't matter what company you buy, this is a major, because the money's big. To be sure, there can be we saw
you didn't
that.
read this.
We read that. The amount of personal and car information that car companies collect and share, sometimes sell, is beyond what is necessary to get someone from point A to point B safely. And it's just getting worse, said a privacy researcher at the Mozilla Foundation, and gave 25 major car brands failing marks for consumer privacy. So one of the things they talk about is, suppose you're 25 years old and you go to a maternity store. You drive up to a maternity store and you get out and you go in there. Nobody knows you're pregnant. Your husband doesn't know, or whoever. Nobody. You want to keep it, for whatever personal reason, you want to keep it confidential. And then on Facebook, you start getting all sorts of ads about maternity stuff and baby stuff, right? And you don't want anyone to know. I mean, is that an invasion of your privacy? So maybe the best case scenario for automakers and consumers is that the growing attention leads more companies to use stricter data privacy practice as a marketing tool, similar to how Apple differentiates itself from competitors. Said on Friday, GM, which is facing a consumer lawsuit, said it had stopped sharing driver data and data brokers that worked with the insurance company. In a statement to the press, GM said, "Consumer trust is a priority for us, and we are actively evaluating it." And then finally, if you've already downloaded the app or signed up for connected services, ask your car manufacturer what options exist for opting out. Additionally, in some states like California, Colorado, and Connecticut, consumers can submit requests to their car company regarding the personal information that's being collected and how they are sharing it. A handful of states allow consumers to opt out of having their personal information sold, and more on moving in this direction. So those are the but this is coming back now, though, because this is so prevalent. They're coming back, and that is why senators call on the FTC to investigate. This is a big deal, and as I said, this is the consumer protection. New cars are the worst products when it comes to protecting consumer data. Like on our phones, like, all the things we talk about security on our phones, and how they can't have access to this, and all the different menus and all the security features we have. You don't have any of that on a car. It just captures everything, right? So
yeah, I did a video on it. I don't know if you're going to talk about that at all, but it was last October that I did a video on Tech for Senior about what some of the things that car companies are doing. There's just more and more computer things in the car that they can tell exactly what you're doing. I just switched insurance companies. I'm now with State Farm. They sent me a little gizmo I put on my windshield, and I have to run an app on my phone, so I have to have it on with me. So I have to have the phone with me, which I do anyway when I'm in the car. And it's tracking things like braking and speeding and some other things to give me a discount. And so in other words, they're giving me an incentive to be able to use that for them to collect the data.
Right. But Huey, you voluntarily did this, and you understand what it's doing. Suppose, for example, your car was tracking that information. You didn't know it was. Let's say you were a terrible driver And that data went to your insurance company, and your insurance company bought the data from the car company and said, hey, Huey, you're not a very good driver. We're not going to insure you. So that could certainly happen,
or
right?
raise your rates quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that's where I'm coming with, Ray, is that we don't really know what they're actually tracking, but it is worth big money. And that's goes along with all the tracking done on Facebook. It's tracking everywhere you go on the internet. It's tracking stuff, and that data they're tracking, they're reselling, and they're selling to people who want to know what you do and where you go. Now, and that's why people are using browsers that do anti-tracking and all sorts of stuff like that, right? So it depends on how you feel about things, but cars really are doing that. I'm wondering how, if I know Mike's listening, Mike Hungerman, and he bought a new I think it was Hyundai this year. How he's dealt with, he talks a lot about security and privacy, and how he's dealt with his new car and tracking, right? So maybe he'll put that in the comments.
Yeah, the proliferation of computers in cars is just growing exponentially. Where we used to have a couple of different computers, now you're getting entire networks built into the car.
Right.
And they can collect data. They can listen to what you're saying. They can see where you've been. It's just so many different things that they can get information from.
All right.
What you said before regarding State Farm, they were my insurance company for a while, and they also sent me that offer to put the device in my car and it would measure. And I said, no, thank you. I don't need that. I don't care if that's going to be a discount. I don't want that. I'm still confused, but I probably learn as to the fact that I went to Walgreens to pick up medication, how that's valuable to somebody.
Maybe if you're Walmart, you would send you lots of ads for pharmacy stuff, so that maybe you'll go to Walmart for your pharmacy rather than Walgreens. They know you're going to Walgreens. Maybe the competition will try and get you to go to Walmart.
I don't watch advertise. I avoid them as much as I can. So I am not the candidate for this. There may be other people who can succumb to that. Oh, I'll get an ad. I'm going to change all of a sudden. That is not me.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to the next topic because we got to move on quickly. Bob, are you live and with us now, or?
Yeah, I'm here, but I don't know how long. I keep getting knocked off. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
You sound fine.
Yeah. Now on a reset. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We'll see how long
now, the other one I want to talk about was this article that came up. We talked about Lenovo leak shows cheaper Copilot Plus PCs coming this month. If Lenovo appears ready to launch a new, more affordable Copilot Plus PC, reliable leaker Evan Blast has published a press release from Lenovo that details a variety of Copilot Plus PCs that will be announced at the IFA trade show later this week, including two that are powered by an unannounced 8-core Qualcomm Snapdragon X Plus chip. Now, all as I'm saying is that you're starting to see, and we'll see some articles today that we're going to talk about, that you'll see more and more of these PCs that are opening up now, and different companies are actually putting out AI powered computers now. So the competition is there now. So as we move into Black Friday and the fall, when the big sales, all the PCs are sold most of the year, we'll see lots of competition. So there's going to be more. When what we reviewed a month ago, it was just very limited, but now we're seeing more coming online.
And so it'll no longer be just from Qualcomm.
That's So we're going to see lots of
things. Intel has already announced that they are ready for.
Yeah, for sure.
Ron, before we move on, I'd like to go back to what we were talking about. Mike's got a couple answers for us.
Okay, Mike says, yes, Hyundai and Kia as well do track their vehicles, whether you want it or not. I get a monthly health report which shows anything about the vehicle and what they have been tracking. In exchange, a phone app lets me turn on AC or heat in advance of going out on a trip, and also remote lock and unlock doors. Exactly, Mike. And it even tells me where my wife's driving the car, so I can keep track of when she's home for lunch, right? So you're absolutely right. It definitely, there's definitely some good side. I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm just saying it just depends how everyone feels about it, right? It is right. It's great that I can lock and unlock the car, turn everything on. It's all remote. But most important, I can see where the car is wherever it goes. It's just like on a Google map, right? It shows me exactly.
On second thought, Ron, you've convinced me. I will not be robbing a bank.
There you go.
You're right.
All right.
You're right. They'll know I did it.
All right, let's get on with the show. Huey, any final comments before we get on with the articles?
Yeah, let's see.
Jim says hot in Scottsdale. Yes. Murray says, good morning from Victoria, BC. I had a lot of trouble connecting my hearing aids by Bluetooth. Finally gave up and plugged them in. Okay. My son ordered a Toyota and production has halted, and 140,000 recalled airbag. Not another airbag problem. Okay.
Okay, we're caught up.
We're caught up. All right, let's get on. We are going to come up to our share screen. Oh, did I? Yeah.
You haven't shared yours.
Okay, here we go. Huey, you're going to follow me on this because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
How many?
Raise the first one.
Okay. Let me just refresh this here. And now, if I should, before I bring this up, let me just
close the manage page section.
Yeah, I will. I just want to bring up, if you want to follow us along, you can go just on Facebook, and if you go to just type in Tech for Senior, and that's then you'll be able to follow the articles as we go along. All right, let's come down to. Let's come down.
There you go.
There we go. There you go, Ray. You got the first one.
Okay, let me see. I have some notes here. I think I wrote about this. So, if you like technology-related articles with lots of graphs and numbers, etc., this one is for you. Lots and lots of that good kind of stuff. But Intel is confirming a variety of manufacturers are all building about 80 different laptops around the Intel Core Ultra 200V chip. Lots of top performance stats that will have to be tested to prove them. But as I said before, despite the bad press and losses that Intel has experienced, I predict that they will come back stronger than ever. And this is one indication of that.
So this will be a competition to the Snapdragon chip, eh, Ray?
Yes.
That should, yeah. It's only going to get better, right? Competition's good.
Competition is great. You're right, Ron. Yep.
And it's just going to get better. So we're going to see lots more happening. So that's good. There you go.
Okay, so this is a company called Incase, which I actually had never heard of before. But just by backtracking a little bit, I didn't realize that Microsoft stopped producing the peripheral items like keyboards and mice and even headphones, because I looked about a year ago for a new ergonomic keyboard from Microsoft. I've always liked that type of keyboard, and I couldn't find it. I ended up getting one from Kensington. Now I've learned they just stopped producing it, but now they've actually handed that off to this company called Incase, and they have rebranded it, and you're going to see their product saying designed by Microsoft, but coming from this other company. So this is for folks who are, if they were wondering what happened to the Microsoft products along these lines, they'll be coming back.
So I still like my Logitech rental. We talked about that a few weeks ago, and Logitech came up with the idea of doing a mouse rental. Remember that? The subscription fee. Everyone said that's a terrible idea, and I'm the only one that liked it. So they anyway. Just to let you know, I'm still voting for the subscription fee, but I see lots of mice there. All right.
Okay.
What else we got here? Oh, another one too. Oh, this is good.
All right, so this is where Hollywood now needs permission for AI of dead stars. So this is the California State Senate has passed an assembly bill, and it's a law requiring those who want to make an AI replica of a deceased performer, they have to get explicit permission from the estate in order to do that. And the bill, of course, as you would expect, had heavy support from the SAG and AFTRA unions, and now it goes to Governor Newsom. And I think this is going to follow there's another bill focuses on living performers and their consent for AI replicas. I think this is a good idea and a step in the right direction.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I do give permission for anyone to use mine after I'm gone.
Let me write that down.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Huey.
Ron, the next one's you.
I think this is the Google search and circle.
Yep.
So Ray, this is cool. So we talked about search and circle before, but Bob showed us on our on the PC. He did a video about that, and we played it last week or the week before. And so this, of course, is the circle to search is bringing out an option for music. And so when you click the Google Lens here and tap to search it with Google Lens, it'll bring up. I don't have it yet; it's being rolled out. But as soon as you hit the button, there'll be a button in there in the search called music. Click on music, and it will tell you what the it'll tell you what.
Speaking of music,
Yeah, it will of course pick out, and it will tell you whose song it is. So if you're listening to something on the car, you just click the button and hit music, and it'll tell you what the song is and who wrote it and all that sort of stuff.
Well, if you're listening in the car, your car should be telling you already. I don't see it very useful there.
Where
it's useful is if you're shopping and you hear a song and you want to know. But this has been around for about 7 years now with apps called Shazam, which is mentioned right there, as well as SoundHound. So I don't find this anything special.
Not special, but it's all going to be on that button, so it'll all be right there for you. So
and just in general, I've been so used to working with computers and large screens. I'm not a Gen Z person that loves to work with these tiny little screens. So give me the option. I'm going to work with a computer and do that rather than a phone.
You missed one, Ron. It's on mine.
Did I miss one?
Yep, it's on mine.
Okay. This was interesting. For all you Bitcoin collectors and crypto collectors, PayPal now allows you to hold, I guess, a digital wallet and be able to pay and receive in cryptocurrency on PayPal. Now, I know that Huey, you've got a big stash of cryptocurrency, and you, of course, are using this. But anyway,
I don't follow it at all. I'm not interested in it. It's one of the few things about technology I just don't want to know any more than I know, and I'm not interested in. I don't. Sure. When you don't have money, you don't have to worry about how you're going to save it.
And I'm sure that Chris Gould did a whole show about a year ago on cryptocurrency and talked about digital wallets. It was really interesting from Geeks on Tour. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting that PayPal now has the ability to manage digital currency. So I thought that was cool. Just a cool article. The other one was interesting. We have talked a lot about digital wallets. And of course, again, I used my phone. I went to buy some Chinese food last night and used my digital wallet to pay, because the company only takes debit cards. So I use the digital wallet. Anyway, hotels turn to digital wallets amid key card security worries. So a lot of people traveling now are really concerned about key cards and the ability to, I guess professional travelers travel a lot, and there's been a lot of problems with key cards. So when you go to check in, you can actually get the code on your digital wallet and take it up to your room, and you just scan it, and it's there, and it works great. So digital wallets now even are becoming more. So this is an option you might, if you are traveling and you see that's what it's all about. You'll just scan something on your phone, and it'll open your room.
Now, does the door to the room have to have a special connection on it that can be able to read that?
I don't know if the existing way rooms work is you tap that card anyway. So there'd be some sort of electronic mechanism, Ray. So I don't know if they have to put a new system in, or whether it would be their existing. I don't know the answer to that. But it's changing. It's changing. Well, look at this. This is a birthday.
Turn the sound on. Turn the sound on.
Happy birthday to
All right, all right, all right, all right.
That's terrific.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Now as we come down, oh, yes. So, so when you buy, just before you race out and buy a smartwatch like the Pixel 3, which great watch, there's nothing wrong with it. Just remember, at least in Canada, you're going to drop $500. Now, the problem is how long is this $500 watch going to last? Now, normally, if you went back when I was a little kid, you could buy a Rolex for $1,000 and it lasts you your life, right? You're going to spend $500 for a Pixel watch. It's going to last 3 years. In fact, Google only guarantees 3 years of updates for the watch, and they're not repairable. So they go back to Google, you get a new one, you cannot take them apart and repair them. So these are non-repairable for your $500. So just remember that. That is certainly something you have to think about before purchasing a smartwatch, at least if you want the Pixel 3. This is so cool. I am excited about this. Did you guys see this article? This came out. Your Roku TV is about to get a new premium feature for free. Now, have you guys all seen, you've seen the Samsung monitors that sit on your wall and act as a picture frame? You've seen those.
Yep.
In fact, they're a special, they're about $1,200. They're quite expensive, and you can subscribe to different famous pictures and they will come up and just stay on your screen, right? And these are, and that's a subscription service. And I always wanted one of those, but I didn't want to pay $1,200. But it's sort of cool, and then you can change these pictures that are sitting on your wall. Anyway, Roku is about to get a new premium feature for free. They're going to have so that you can add the background on your TV on an existing TV if it's a Roku TV. And you'll also be able to, I think there's a subscription coming where you'll be able to subscribe to different famous pictures if you want, or I would imagine you can put your own pictures on there and it will be like a picture on your wall. So you could actually take a monitor and I guess or a TV and put it on your wall and use it like that instead of having a picture. You know, how many pictures do you have in your house where you got a picture of a seagull sitting on a log, and after 10 years you're tired of the seagull sitting on a log and you want a different picture, right? So
now, Ron, will this wear out the screen faster?
I don't know. I know with current screens, I don't think that's going to be a big issue.
I mean, if you have it on when the TV isn't on, that means it could be on not 24 hours a day, but certainly 18 hours a day.
Yeah. Most of these types of things have motion detectors where when you walk in, it turns on. You know what I mean? And
Right.
then when the lights all go out at night, you know, it sort of all turns off. So I think it probably has that. But this is going to be part of your Roku. If you have a Roku TV or Roku, I'm assuming the Roku device also, anything Roku, this is going to be an option on there. And I think it's cool. You know, I think it's pretty cool. Bob, are you back now or?
I have no clue. I'm trying it on a different computer.
Okay.
You seem to be able to stay on for 5 minutes and then the whole system gets knocked off.
Okay. Well, we can see you. We can hear you. Everything's fine. So let's see how we go.
It was the last time too, for 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Anyway, let's come down. We're going through the articles. This was another one that was announced. Asus announces new VivoBook S15 and ProArt PZ13 Copilot PC powered by Snapdragon X. So again, we're seeing more of the PCs that are going to be having AI capability. And I thought, Ray, I put this in for you. This is Asus's new.
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh, did you put this in?
Yeah.
Is this the one you bought, or this is your article?
No, that's my article.
Oh, it says I published.
Ron also put it up. Yep.
Okay, well, you'll see me, as I often say, Ron, great minds think alike.
Well, since it's Christmas, it's my birthday, and I want to keep my voice. Why don't you talk about this while I have a glass of water?
So Intel is no longer making the Nook branded mini PCs, but Asus or Asus has taken over the development, sales, marketing of the Nook brands. and introduced the first mini-powered PC that has the latest Intel Lunar Lake processors. Now, we all know how there's on the Microsoft Surface laptops, there's the AI key or the Copilot key. Well, this mini, since there's no keyboard here, this has a Copilot button on the case itself. And here's the most interesting configuration. You buy them in different configurations, but you can get this mini PC with RAM up to 96 gigabytes of RAM. Now, I'm not sure who needs 96 gigabytes, but I've never seen that number yet associated with a computer for the everyday people. So anyway, I like mini PCs. As I said, the one I use it as my Plex server, and it's been working great.
Excellent. Thanks, Ray. See, great minds think alike, right?
Yep.
There you go. Let's see. Oh, this is so interesting. This is unbelievable. US data center capacity exploded by entire Silicon Valley in the first half of 2024. Now, I just want to bring the article up. North American primary markets added the equivalent of an entire. Hold on here. I can't. North American primary markets added the equivalent of an entire Silicon Valley's worth of data capacity in the first 6 months of 2024. Access across North America's 8 primary markets, according to the report, is 515 megawatts, and new capacity became available during that time, outstripping the total capacity of the Silicon Valley, which stands at 495 megawatts. In the middle of 2024, US had just shy of 5,700 megawatts of total capacity. That's a 10% increase over 6 months alone. Companies are continuing to secure additional data, even in the face of power and equipment shortages that have hampered expansion. Business sites went on and on to talk about this, but if you read, I'll just sort of summarize the article. Is that we're running out of data. Like they're booking data centers. If I said to Huey came to me and said, Ron, would you build me a data center? And I said, Huey, yes, give me $3 billion and I'll build you a data center. But I can't get it. But sorry, Huey, I can't get it built for 3 years. I mean, that's what's happening. They're booking these data centers out to 10 years now, and no one can actually create data storage fast enough for the consumption of what we're doing. So there's going to be a huge crunch coming up. I don't know whether that's going to limit AI, but there's just going to run out of storage.
Facebook just opened a huge data center here in Los Lunas.
Yeah. So
they opened it, they've already doubled it, and they're already looking to quadruple it.
That's right. So it's crazy. Like this is really insane.
And this is all based on electrical systems that are already struggling just with air conditioning. And
water
getting
supply.
The power and water is another issue for folks like me in Arizona.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So I thought that was super interesting.
Before you go on, I'm trying to bring something up.
Oh yeah, you better bring up some. We got 15 minutes left. So do you want to bring
but
up
I want to bring up something here. Hang on.
Okay.
Where to go here? Can you see the screen? I don't.
Yes, we see your Google search.
Okay, do you see the video?
No,
you're not seeing the video.
No.
Okay, hang on just a second. I'm in the wrong spot here. Nuts. I shared the wrong thing. Let me go back and unshare and go on.
So do you want to bring up the people we should go into the final comments now? We got 15 minutes left.
Sure. Let's see, where do we leave off?
Murray says, I'd go for the rental mouse if the fee was 25 cents a year or less, including free replacement and batteries. Jolin says 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe, happy to be able to cool the car on a hot day remotely. So, yeah. And Steve says Kirkland, Washington, 72 degrees and sunny. Murray Strom, Shazam does not work very well for classical music. Okay. Mike Argument said, when are we going to see glucose monitoring in the mainstream watches? I don't want to replace my Pixel Watch until they are available. Well, we're still waiting on it. It's coming. Mike says TVs with Google TV operating system have had that. Roku is what Roku is offering for a while. Oh, interesting. TVs with Google TV operating system. Oh, really? Showing art and pictures on the screensaver. Thanks, Mike. I didn't know that. That's Aaron, because I think this is so cool. I think that'd be really, really neat. All right. Let me come back to oh, darn it. Here, just a minute. Bring this up. All right, so I put this in. Ray's been telling me each week, I don't believe you've been talking for 5 years about the demise of cable companies. And he says, I'm getting tired of this. So Ray, I just put this in for you. This is in cable TV companies lost 1.62 million subscribers in the last 3 months. So I don't know how many they got left, but I just thought I'd let you know it's still happening.
I'm one of them.
Thanks a lot, Ron. I appreciate that.
Ron, I'm one of them. I use Comcast. But not for streaming, just for internet access.
Right.
And I want to show you what's inside the data center. Hang on, I got it ready to share. And tell it to start. I don't want to review. No, that's not what I wanted. Well, yeah, you can see it here. This is what a data center looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Rows and rows and rows of nothing but.
Yeah.
Yep. Trays that hold massive.
Okay. Trouble in chip paradise. So the latest news is that of course, I guess if any company gets big, it's going to develop you know, as big as NVIDIA is, whether the federal government has started an antitrust case against them depends on whether you talk to the news people or of course the CEO. But anyway, more on that. Huey, Android 15.
Yeah, it's coming. Of course, it'll go to the Google phones first, but it's an update to the operating system on Android phones, and we'll start seeing it rolling out as each of the manufacturers make their changes to it. So it should you should start seeing the ability to upgrade.
Okay. And pivot table.
Yeah, if you use Excel, this you really need to take a look at this article. It's about pivot tables, and that's what pivot tables are. If you've got a whole bunch of things in a column and you want them really to be headings of, you've got them in rows and you want them to become columns, you pivot and it changes it. And there's some features on how to do it.
Oh, okay.
And I subscribe to her channel. She's very, very, very good instructor.
I've never heard of a pivot table.
It's a feature in Excel.
Yeah, and it has been for a long time, and it's one that I have used. And every time I go to use it, I forget, and I have to look up how to do it.
That is a great question for my quiz on my Saturday newsletter. What is a pivot table? That'll be a good one for the quiz. I think I'm going to put that in there.
Unless you use Excel, you really wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
Is it similar to a pool table?
Yeah, exactly. Which of these are computer related? Pool table, pivot table. I can see this is a great question, right?
Coming now.
Yeah, I'll put that in there. That'll be a good one. Huey.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like this or not. But,
yeah, you have Verizon.
Because I'm a Frontier person. And right. Verizon is buying them for $20 billion. But it's going to increase their FiOS, the fiber optic reach within the country. A fantastic. I think it doubles it or more. So I will now be a Verizon customer, and I'm not happy about that.
I bet your rates are going to go up.
Yep,
Someone's got to
probably.
pay for the $20 billion.
Yeah, yep.
Ray, here's your article.
Okay. So we talked about that.
There you go. We talked about that.
Great minds think alike.
Let's see. Who's this? Huey.
Yes.
YubiKey.
The YubiKeys are vulnerable to cloning attacks thanks to a newly discovered side channel, and it can't be fixed.
Oh.
So if you have a YubiKey, you might want to read this article.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Oh, now this was a scary article that came out this week. You better explain this one, Huey.
Yeah, when I first saw it says Canva is increasing its prices for Canva for subscriptions. It's going from $139 a year to $500 a year. I said, "Oh my God, that's unbelievable." But as this article says, it's only for the Teams product. The people who have Canva Pro, it doesn't affect them at this point anyway. This is not going to affect them. If those that have Teams where there's several people on the same account and each one, they pay for each seat, the seats are going to go up from $139 to $500.
And the reason,
but if you do it right away, it's only going to be $400. The first year.
Well, the reason though, I guess that a lot of this is happening, we see this happening for other software, is because of the AI component in them. Is that each seat could be using a huge amount of AI, data that they're having to use, and that all they have to, and Canva has to pay for all that, is that wherever they're getting their AI from. So it probably adds into licensing fees on top of licensing fees, right?
Yeah, and some of the replies to these articles, people are saying, well, I don't use a lot of the AI features, but I'm going to have to pay for it.
Again, then the way that article at least explained is focusing on the enterprise, on corporations. Yeah. But the truth is, if it's corporations today, it'll be the individual consumer tomorrow.
This is an interesting article. It says these 7 signs show we've already reached peak AI. I'm not, because we're running out of time, so I don't want to go into the article. I don't agree with everything in that article. This might be actually a good one to I could even make a video about this on Monday. It's there for a Monday show. It's actually got some good points, but I don't agree with all of them. But we're not going to go into that because I want to go through this. So this is very interesting. The Pixel 9a is rumored to be coming out, which is typical. We've just talked about Pixel 9. So the next thing rumored is Pixel 9a, and it will be using the Tensor G4 chip, which we talked about, which of course the Pixel 9 has. But what they're going to take out is the new modem. Remember, I talked about one of the big advantages of Pixel 9 is that they changed the modem on the chip, and they're now using a Sony modem, and they had problems in the past with their modem. There's problems with connectivity and stuff like that, and there was a licensing agreement. I can't remember which one they used. So, but this is the first year they actually went ahead and changed the modem. So that is one of the big reasons to get the Pixel 9. It's got a different modem in. Well, the Pixel 9a they're going to put the old modem in. So this is really, I don't think the 9a is going to be much of a seller. Wait. So that would be my advice on that. So this is just a reminder. Here's how to ensure smooth switching from Samsung Messages to Google Messages. Samsung Messages is going away. It's pretty much gone. If you do have a Samsung phone and you still are using Samsung messaging, read this article, because Samsung messaging is going away, and it will only be Google messaging. So this is how to easily make the conversion. This is new. This Ray, I think you're going to have to play this on one of the music outros. This was really good. Bob did a great job on this. He's
taking my job. He's going to have my job.
Have you listened to this one, Ray?
No, I haven't. But now
you really toe tapping baby. It's good. It's good. Bob, did you write the lyrics?
Yep.
You're pretty good.
I did the lyrics and AI did the rest.
It's good. It's really good, and you should listen to this. I think we should, this should be part of. Anyway, you come up with some ideas. But it's Bob wrote the lyrics, and and it's pretty cool. So anyway, I think we should have a look at that. Ray, Huey.
Yeah, hang on, let me get down to it here.
Big tech items are listening.
Yeah, this was from Kim Commando. For years, tech companies have assured us no one's listening through our smartphones to see what we're interested in, but it sure feels like it. When the skeptics among us were right, at least one media group can and does gather info from conversations and uses it for targeted ads. So there is some listening going on. And so when you see the ads, it's not just coincidence.
Which company?
It doesn't say.
Right.
At the center of the drama is Cox Media Group, and it's not the Cox that provides internet service. This is their media company based in Atlanta. They dropped the bombshell in their sales pitch deck. Their active listening software can tap into private conversations through your smartphone's microphone. So what she's suggesting you do is you turn off. You have the ability to turn off which apps can use the microphone, and she suggests you turn it off for phone calls or not phone calls.
I suggest you not use apps that need permissions to things that are none of their business in order to do their job. If it asks for more than it needs to perform its job, don't install it. You've got many choices. One of the things we'll be covering on Monday.
All right. Huey, any final comments before we...
Let me catch up and see. Let's see this one, I think.
Colin says, I like toe tapping baby. Thanks, Bob. It's good. It's really good, Ray. You got to listen to it.
I will.
Yeah, it's cool. Murray Strom says, my new hearing aids have built-in key tags, so if I lose them, you might be able to find them. My Sony TV has the picture feature too. I can show famous pictures or my own on Google Photos. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I think that's going to be a great feature. Is that it?
Yep.
All right. Listen, it is top of the hour. Thank you so much for coming. We do appreciate that your time's valuable, and we hopefully you've enjoyed our show today and learned something about all the news articles of the week. Of course, next week we will be talking all about Apple devices, because the big Apple event will, of course, be next week. And not to be outdone, Huawei has staged an event right after Google, or right after Apple, to probably unveil their trifold phone, which will be so that it'll be interesting. It's going to be a busy week, and there's going to be lots of happenings, and we will have it all next Thursday for you.
Huawei isn't distributed here in the U.S. I don't know about Canada.
Yeah, it isn't, but it'll be their new trifold phone. All right, listen, thanks so much for coming, and we will see everybody. Oh, don't forget Monday's show. We have a huge show for you this coming Monday. Lots of good stuff there, and I'm going to be talking all about
some changes too.
Yeah, some changes. I'm going to be talking all about AI TVs and my recent visit to Costco. So you'll be able to see a new TV. I'm not going to buy it, not yet. But anyway, I won't tell you about it. I'll show you on Monday. Talk soon. All right. Bye-bye now.
Hey, everybody.
Bye-bye.